As the mainstream media like Sky News and Kay Burley get overexcited over Boris Johnson's Judgment Day tomorrow, they are holding political interviews with experts who happen to be ultra rejoiners and Ramoners like Michael Heseltine.
If it is proven in the fullness of time that the Prime Minister misled the House of Commons with several comments that he made at the dispatch box, given that we've waited for the results of the Sue Gray inquiry and she comes back and tells us what she tells us, if he has misled the House, must he step down?
Well, what an important question, Kay. And also, what an important person to have as a guest on your show. Definitely impartial and definitely doesn't really want to destroy Boris to bring down Brexit, to reverse Brexit, right? He's the only hat Michael Heseltine has these days. The same Michael Heseltine who plotted against Margaret Thatcher at the time, failed, plotted against Brexit, failed, is now plotting against Brexit again. That's why he went on Sky News. And guess what? When he responded, because he doesn't like Boris Johnson, because it's obviously is also not on the same political spectrum as Boris. He says that, but I think they seem to be politically, but in terms of policy. But his response was fascinating, and I was definitely not expecting this.
If it were to be established that the Prime Minister has been lying, then that is going to open a can of worms, because very large numbers of people, now a majority of people, believe that the Brexit case was actually a pack of lies.
Why is Brexit getting involved? I mean, I joke because obviously I expected him to bring up Brexit. I expected him to say, well, now it's time to reverse Brexit. On what basis? So, let's unpack this. Let's analyze this nonsensical interview. The Remain side told us during the 2016 referendum, and before the referendum was even introduced, saying that, well, this is legislation we already have. We have all these treaties are signed, and the status quo is Remain. So when they lost, they said Brexit vote shouldn't count because it was against status quo, so you needed to have a threshold. So they wanted to be about 65%, 70% threshold. So you have to get 70% leave vote for it to be counted, because status quo was being member of the European Union, because that was a treaty we had. So I'm coming up with an idea. Let's do it. Let's do a referendum. As in, if we are to do a referendum, status quo right now is Brexit. Status quo is the treaty that we have, the Brexit deal, which we are not member of the European Union. So if we are going to have a Brexit referendum, or well, rejoin referendum, then your threshold should be 70%, 75%, let's just say. Let's just make it 75%. You need to get Remainers, 75% of them, to vote to rejoin the European Union. Otherwise, your threshold has not been met, so we'll just stay outside the European Union. And then you can just be quiet forever. I mean, that's it. We never actually came up with this counter-argument, because on a constitutional level, status quo is now being outside the EU. So if they ever want to introduce some sort of referendum, but bring down Boris Johnson, bring down the Tories, have Keir Starmer in charge, and then somehow force him to have some sort of rejoin referendum, we have to campaign initially for a threshold, because that's what they want, that's what they believe in. But the guy continued talking nonsense. It got to this point where I was like, I just didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
All the easy trade deals, the no border in Ireland, the bonfire regulations, all of these things were part of the great booster campaign of Boris Johnson to sell the British people into the disaster of Brexit. Now,
Michael, quick point. Your first 2 points were wrong. Very, very, very inaccurate. So he said the easy trade deals, because that was the line that they had during the referendum, and just after Brexit, the vote, they said you can't sign trade deals. We've done them. We have signed trade deals. They said you can't copy and paste the existing trade deals that the EU had. We did them. Secondly, he said border with Ireland. We don't have a border with Ireland. We have a border with the Northern Ireland, but not with the Republic, unless these people don't really care about the difference between Northern Ireland and the Republic, and that's very rude. We don't have actually a border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. there is this invisible Irish Sea border between England, well, the rest of the country, and Northern Ireland, and that is a disastrous situation that you people, the pro-EU side and the bureaucrats in Brussels who used the Republic of Ireland as their puppet to force this invisible border. It's you guys. And then obviously you tricked Boris Johnson into agreeing to it, and also Theresa May. This is not Brexit. It's the European Union's fault. So, rant over. Let's get rid of this guy and let's talk about all the good stuff that's happening. Freedom is happening. Restrictions are going. Next step is the U-turn. Hopefully there's a pause on the NHS mandates for NHS workers. Hopefully we're going to have a U-turn properly very, very soon. And we're going to celebrate freedom. We're going to fight back against the European Union, against World Health Organization, World Economic Forum, and for reforming the NHS. Important stuff. Subscribe to the channel. I'm my TC and we are the media.